Okay, sorry about that. Um, I had to use the facilities. I was a little bit late, like always. I need to start being less late, I think. Anyways, yeah, export variables. Um, when the layout tool is done, I won't have any export variables. So that means all this description that keeps on running up the output window won't soon be an issue. Pardon me? Um, right now, how does that work? Let me see something here. I'll do the metadata thing here real quick, real soon. Um, let's see. Um, what was I looking for now? And now I forgot. Um, let's go to script real quick. I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? Um, meta files. That's not. I was going to do something here that I don't know what. Something it just like went out of my head or something. Uh, I don't know what it was. It was something. Oh. Yeah. So rooms. Okay, so let's check the rooms out. Okay, and that's the room description, right? Oh, this. Yeah, but this is so that I could. Hmm, I guess I kind of didn't think about it. The export thing. Yeah, this is so it showed up in the inspector. If I do the layout tool correctly, I will allow you to edit the rooms in the layout tool. I won't need to expose them to the inspector. They will no longer be created from the inspector. That's how that works. Okay, so I can't really do anything about that um, exactly right away just yet because I'll have to create the thing to edit. I'll have to figure out a layout, how to design it, and do I need like a file like a menu bar, drop down menus, file and different things like that. Edit room. You double click on a room, it brings up the edit window, the room edit window for that particular room. And then there's the subject of adding and removing doors. How do you add and remove doors? In this case, I do it with the letting you edit the door specs, and it creates the doors from the door specs. Um, and what would I do for adding doors to? Would I have an add door button, or would I just have it do a straight up drag and drop? And also with drag and drop, you have to consider moving the room around. Here, let's pull this up. I'm actually going to make it to where how come zoom out is affected by? Oh, awesome. Okay, so yeah, I have to think about how the user interface goes. I only need something kind of basic, but at the same time, I'm gonna need a couple things. For instance, I'll need a way to edit the rooms, um, like by double clicking on them. I'll add doors, but um, the fact that you can zoom in here, um, what do I do? Do I allow dragging only on one part? Say, for instance, the upper part here. I was kind of annoyed that you'd have to um, you have to drag sorry, get annoyed that you had to drag the rooms around by the little control thingy, the anchor thingy, which would have been in the center here in the editor to actually move it. If I do a thing where you can move the whole thing by clicking on it and dragging it instead of just the deal, how does that work with trying to create doors by clicking and dragging them? You can't really do that unless you have an area that you drag from, say the door area or something. The other way I could do it is I could have an add door where you click on the destination and it automatically draws the lines to it. So you click on the button, add door, then it will pop up and say select another room to link it to, and it would automatically draw it. You can do a click drag, but it'll be kind of annoying if um like I said, if you have to click on the whole thing to drag it, and then you try to click drag a door, and it moves with it. So then you have to have an area kind of blocked off that says in the certain area, you know, you have to drag from a certain area. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That's pretty good at staying in the center when I leave the mouse in the center. Okay, so so first thing I'm going to tackle is I'm going to tackle the file extension. Um, I guess let's do something here. Const room extension equals dot JSON. Const meta ext equals dot metadata dot JSON. Okay, that's so now control find dot JSON. So what I'll do here is um um room.ext, right? Room.ext. And there's that. Let's do something here. Let's replace that with room ext at JSON that. So we're going to replace that. Next. Place. Next. Place. We'll just delete that. Oh. Oh, I see. Let's do something here. Control Z. We won't delete this, but we will see. We will do is comma. And I'll just go ahead and do it. Meta ext that. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing here. We'll do this. That. Okay. Next. Wait a second. Up. Okay. Next. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to say room ext comma meta ext that. I'm going to do this and we'll do this. And we'll go down. To go ahead and replace this, but what we'll do here is we'll just go ahead and do like that. Okay. And go ahead and replace that. But here, we'll go ahead and replace room, comma, nothing, that. And go down. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing with meta. Um, meta. We rename it to meta.ext. Meta. Now, let's go ahead and go next. Replace. Go down. Go ahead and replace. Down. We're going to replace. Down. 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 Okay. Hopefully this doesn't screw things up. Now I do have all the backups and backup, so I don't really have a problem here. Let's see, we'll do that. Okay, so this is what we are going to do now. Metadata.json. Okay. Rename. Replace extension only. Find meta. Replace with metadata.json. And we're going to rename. And there we go. So we are going to see if, okay, so first thing is layout now has all the files here, .metadata.json. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to test it. I'm going to save, and we're going to go to this, and there shouldn't be any problem. It should load up like this, like normal. So let's reload the save scene. Let's see what happens. See if it just screwed everything up. Oh. All right, let's do the thing here. See, he does that weird thing with the. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Let's take this and let's go ahead and Control S, and let's go ahead and save room data. Okay. And let's check out, make sure everything looks good here. Turn 10 items. Okay. And let's go back in here. Let's go back into rooms real quick. All right. There should be 209 items here. Right? Awesome. Good. Everything is okay. And reload save scene. Okay. It's just not selected, which is fine. Okay. Back down here. Joel S. Save room data. And Bob's your uncle. Okay. So. Hello, Mason Hollowhorn. I don't know what I don't know what Yaz about, but welcome to the stream. I just didn't notice you there because I was so intent on the on the on my program here. So what I'm building is I'm building this. Okay, so I don't know how much you know. Maybe you've been in IRC, maybe Discord, maybe on X. Who knows? Maybe you haven't. So I'm building a adventure game. I'm doing it in phases. I'm starting with a choose your own adventure style, and then I'm gonna slowly evolve it over several phases, um, which will take a while. But right now, it's just kind of the choose your own adventure phase. And the way I add rooms is I have these little buttons up here. This adds a room. This one removes it, and this one saves all the room data. And right now, all I was doing is changing the file names of the metadata here, which is basically like the position within the editor here. Um, and it was before it was called meta, and it wouldn't come up here in the editor. So, and this is readout, which is essentially Godot 4.3. Anyways, I'm preparing to save the camera zoom and position here to be able to load it up later. And so I'll probably just call it metadata. I don't know if I'll call it metadata or not. I'll just call it I'll just project.json or something. Um, so I guess that's kind of the next thing I need to work on. Right now, this doesn't do anything other than pan and zoom. Eventually, I'll be able to add rooms, remove them, add doors, which are these links in between these pages, and I'll be able to do everything with here within the actual this actual tool, which is essentially just a lone scene. The actual game um, runs slightly differently. This is the actual game here. Anyways, so yeah, Mason Hollow Horn, if you're still here, um, that's pretty much what I'm doing. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is I need to save the position in a file, and I need to figure out where to save that at. Um, it'll probably be in a save all, and let's go to script on save button pressed. Okay. Room ID, removed rooms. Okay, this actually removes those rooms, and then this is the part that actually saves the room data and the room stuff. I don't remember what this is about. If room.id does not equal room.original ID, then old JSON path, rooms directory, rooms extension. If file exists, old JSON, open it, remove it. Okay, so this actually deletes the old file. So what I do is when I add a new file, when I hit save, it's going to go through each of the rooms here. That's interesting. Get room children. I have a rooms dictionary where I could get it from there, I think. That's interesting the way I did that. I don't know if I should change that or not. I mean, it works, so I guess I don't really need to change it. Um, file exists. Um, okay, so the actual file exists. You want to save the metadata. But if it's not doesn't exist, then you're going to create a new file, and then you're going to save the data afterwards. Okay, save metadata for room. I wonder if I should make another meta file. Save metadata for room. I wonder if I should copy these. Let's uh, save metadata for room. So let's go to there. Okay, so what this does is it creates basically a JSON object and stringifies it, store string, file that store string. So you're telling it to store the string into the file, and then close it. Create new meta file. Save room data for room. Create new meta file. Honestly, you could almost put these in like one single function where it will check and see if it exists, and then it will create the new meta file, and then we'll save it. And then all I have to do is call save metadata for room. I could probably do that. I don't know if I need to, but I could probably do that. But in any case, this is what we're going to do. We're going to actually copy this, and I'm going to call it something else. Okay. But we're going to call it something else. So we're going to say create, I don't know if I should call it project file or, see. I'll probably use room extension for this file because I don't need it to say metadata because it's not room metadata. It's like project data, right? So it can be saved straight up as a JSON file. Plus, it's in a different folder, so I don't get anything confused here. Okay, so we're gonna call this create new config file. Create new config file. Create new so we'll say project. Project file name. Project name equals file name. If file name ends with room extension, meta name equals replace. I don't need to do that because I'm not replacing a JSON with a. I'm not even sure why I did that. Somehow I was passing in the file name with the JSON at the end instead of the .meta, and so when it parsed it incorrectly. So I had to tell it to make sure to rename the file name from, okay, if file exists plus project name, say. Actually, it's a project file name. I don't really care. Whatever. I may not even need this extra variable in here. I think that was so I could build something afterwards. Um, project name, file name. Rooms directory plus file name. Load metadata for room. Oh, let's just. Okay. Let me think of how I want to do this. Create and save, right? Create and save. Okay, meta name equals file name. If file name ends with room extension, which is JSON, uh, the meta name equals file name. Replace room extension with meta extension. So just replace, you know, .json to with .metadata.json. Originally it was .meta, but I changed the extension. Okay, so so the file name is going to be with an extension. So all this is saying is if there's an extension, okay. If not, let's see something here. File access file exists. Layout tool data directory. Then meta file. Oh, I see. Just don't. This is for if it doesn't exist. Create a new file if it doesn't exist, right? File access right. Okay, so I don't actually need to change anything about the file name because it's not going to be corresponding to a room. There was a deal where I was looping through stuff and somehow it passed the extension through, and so I needed to change the extension because of where I was calling it from or something. That wouldn't be the case with this project file. So func, let's call this create new project file name colon. Okay, and then I'm going to do my customary, begin and end block things, and then if not file access that file exists, and that it's going to be the same as that down there. Layout tool data directory plus file name. Okay, and I need my customary white space here. Colon. Var project file. I will call it project file. I guess that's all right to do. It's not strictly correct, but file access open tool data directory plus file name. That's an interesting way that works out. Let's meta name. Oh. Right. File access right. Okay. Now before I do anything else, let's go ahead and just say project file name equals layout tool plus file name semicolon. I know I don't need a semicolon, but I'm doing that just because I want to. Okay, so file exists. Why do I have two extra deals here? Okay. File exists. Project file name. Project file name. Project file name. Open. All right. File access open. Okay. And then what do we do after that? If file access get open error is equal to okay. Yeah. Then okay, this is where we do it. Our project data equals okay. This is where I need a little bit of help. I don't strictly need like a lot of help with this, but I gotta remember how to make a JSON object. With the with this is pretty easy. It was just a single string. Um, I wonder if I could call multiple store strings or not. Or let's see. Where is the deal to save? Um, this is how we got. Okay, so we open as if it's okay. Then we created a string, and we created the any possible indentations that were needed in the string. Okay, so let's do a thing here. We'll do a thing here where we will copy. And actually, that's a tab, isn't it? Is that a tab? No, it's space. Okay. So we're just continually adding to this data string, and we're stringifying the um, okay. And what am I doing in the in this? Oh, I see. So I created. Okay, so what I did is I created an object here, and then I stringified it. Hmm. Let's see something here. Just trying to think of how I want to do this. Okay, where's save? Save, here we go. And here I kind of did the same thing. I created an object. Um, hmm. Hmm. Um, layout camera. Oh, where is the camera? Did I put that here at the end and I made it bar camera? Okay, let's do something up here. Let's go ahead and bar camera. Is that node or null? I don't know if no, I forget how to do that. Var camera on camera 2D null. I think I can do it that ways. Um, okay. Empty. There we go. Okay, now let's go down to the camera. Where'd the camera go? Oh, there we go. Okay, so create new project file. Okay, I think I can just camera out position is what I think I can do. Hmm. All right. JSON string, stringify, and then we save it, right? That's an array. That's an object. So I don't need an array. I just need an object. And we'll actually have just two. Okay, we'll actually have like three things in it. Okay, one, the zoom level will be a single number, floating point. That'll be fine. And then the the position is going to be two numbers. I'm trying not to use the AI here that much. Hmm. You know, I could just maybe I could stringify the whole thing. I'm not sure if I can, but maybe I can. I have like zoom, update min zoom. That's the camera. Mouse zoom factor, zoom. Huh. Zoom equals new zoom. Zoom at mouse. I see. Update minimum zoom. Zoom X. Zoom.x. Zoom. Okay, I do need to ask. Not about the JSON part, but about the zoom level. Um, where is the zoom level located? Is that actually in the uh, layout camera script? Zoom is stored in a built-in zoom property of camera 2D. Okay. Camera.zoom. You can just read or save it whenever you want. Um, just write the code to generate a JSON uh, string data for camera position and zoom. Camera is called camera original, right? In the layout tool script. It's a class level variable. Generates a JSON string containing the camera's position and zoom from your layout tool script. Assuming camera is your layout camera instance, get camera state JSON var data equals. And actually, I don't need to do a function, but var data equals. Okay, so it's actually creating an object, and so then it's going to save it x colon camera position ix pretty print with tabs for readability. Produces a string like and then write the string into your wherever you want to save the camera state. Um, no, at least not right this second. Don't you need to use stringify for any of those numbers? JSON.print data. No extra conversion needed. Oh, JSON print data with tabs. Oh. I'm not going to do this as a function, though. Um, Maybe I should do it as a function. Okay. We'll go ahead and do this. I'll just go ahead and copy it directly. Copy. And it's about time for me to quit here. But let's see if I can put this in here real quick. Layout tool. Um, where's that? Great. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do this. Control. I'm gonna save it. Oh. Hmm. Interesting. Flip symbol. Stringify. Variant var to JSON text and returns result. Serializing data. Indent parameter controls if and how something is indented. Its contents will be used where there should be an indent in the output. Events like works. Stringify my dictionary /t. Oh, that's what. Okay, so that's all right, all right, all right. That's what stringify is. Apparently, JSON print doesn't work. However, it seems to be what stringify does. In fact, I can also put /t for it to indent. Exactly. JavaScript's JSON.stringify. I meant JSON.print doesn't somehow exist, at least in Redot. So presumably doesn't exist in Go 4.3 either. But string, if I change the name to stringify, it will work the same. Yes, Redot, the equivalent code would be exactly the same as we discussed, right? Yeah. That's what stringify actually does. So, layout tool. Okay, what you're going to do is we're going to call this stringify. Stringify. And that should work. And okay. Okay. Um, project data equals get camera state, get camera state JSON. Okay. And then I write the data out. So I guess metafile store string. So I should use file.store string data. Correct? Yes. Yeah, close it afterwards, obviously. Uh, okay. Maybe I don't need project data. Uh, we'll do it this ways. Okay, what if it doesn't exist? Let's do a little defensive programming here. We'll do the. I'm gonna go ahead and also do my thing here. So I'm gonna do this and that, and we're gonna say end get camera state JSON. And actually, I want this to be Pascal case. So get camera state JSON. That, and then that's okay. We can leave that. Okay, string bar data. Okay, so we're gonna say bar cam x equals camera dot position. Okay, equals 0. Bar cam y equals 0. Var zoom x equals 1. Var zoom y equals 1. Okay, and then we're going to say if camera do that, and if camera cam x equals camera dot position dot x, C, V, cam y, position dot y, zoom x equals zoom.x. Zoom y equals camera.zoom.y. That. Okay. Now, we just do this cam x, cam y, zoom x, zoom y. That. 427. Yeah. That's all right. Okay, so being a little defensive, I created some default values. I put the cam position values at 0, 0, and the zoom values at 1, 1. Is that okay? Is that valid? Should be valid, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to do it that way, but now I'm gonna say project file dot store string get camera state JSON semicolon. Actually, this is create new project file. And this defaults. I guess I better quit here. I'll have to think this through just a little bit because best get used to that when they start upping the prices. Yeah, yeah, Rook. Yeah, prices. I'm using the free stuff right now. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, I'm kind of going over my time right now. But I guess I'm kind of on my way. Okay, so basically, uh, I want to create a new project file, right, with this default values. Okay, create new meta file. Is okay, metadata, store string close, project file close, dot close that, and I'll even project file close. Actually, that is actually right for that. And for storing it, see, it already has default in here, so I don't need to worry about that. Because the function is handling it. So if the position's there, it's going to save it anyways. It doesn't really matter because when you actually save metadata, you'll have the same thing here. It'll actually be the same. Well, okay, so it'll be the same code. Let's see something here. Let me see something here though for a second. This just does the renaming thing, okay? But this is the main thing. If not file exists, Honestly, I don't need a create. I don't think. I don't think I need a separate function to do that. Because all this does is this does the same thing as this, except for this does the default, which is 0, 0, and this create new meta file name. File exists if it doesn't exist when you actually get to save. Oh, that's interesting. Create new meta file, save default stuff to it. File access right. File access right. I'll have to look at that later because it's dumb. Because this saves it. And it just creates a new one if it's not. So let me ask this here. Curious. Looking over my code, I have a create new meta file function, which essentially opens a file. Do we do it exist here? This doesn't exist here. It just doesn't do anything else. This says if it doesn't exist, create the file, set default values. And save metadata for room. And they almost do the identical thing. They, with the exception of this thing of changing the deal here. Same thing. They almost do the same thing. With the exception of this deal that says to change from JSON to meta as a file extension. JSON to metadata.json. To check if a file exists, and if not, opens a file for writing, writes default values, and then closes. The save function simply checks if it does exist. Almost do the same thing. Here. Let's just show it. The create function looks like it might be unnecessary. Oh yeah, I'm a little bit late. Dad's making noise, so I need to... Looking at this, basically doing the first time save with default values while save handles the usual save. You could streamline things a bit. Combine creation and saving could handle both cases. If the file doesn't exist, create it with default values. Then overwrite it with the room's Exzel position, or even just write the room's position directly, because if the file doesn't exist, opening it with write will automatically create it. Remove create new meta file entirely. The only difference right now is the actual room versus the actual room position. If you ever need to populate with 00 before the room is a real position, you don't need a separate function. Um, yeah. File access will create the file if it doesn't exist, so then you need to call it separate create function before writing, but usually room already has a proper position. So yes, create new meta files, mostly unnecessary and can be removed or merged. No thanks, but this is going to help. I'll probably fix it tomorrow. Time is up for today. Okay. You can clean that up, move on to the camera, save, load, and other layout tool stuff. Yep. Thanks. Talk to you later. Just do it like a person, right? Okay. So, just go ahead and save it. We'll leave this like it is, and we will go ahead and, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close up, and I'll see you tomorrow. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for following me, and perhaps I'll get a little bit more done tomorrow. Just I know what I'm doing and stuff, so that's good. Anyways, yeah. So thanks, and we'll start again tomorrow. Thank you for watching part 2.